Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back to complete our review of Masterpiece G09 Super Ginrai. We're going to be looking at the trailer that will form the battle station mode and the base mode for, well, I said battle station mode and the robot body for the super mode. Real quick, since it's been a day or two since I started our little look here, um, I do want to point out that some other people have gotten theirs in hand, and the silver tabs on the smokestacks that, as you can see, are tabbed in and holding the leg in place, they have broken off for some people. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know how rough they were, but it's just something to keep an eye on. So we're going to put Ginrai off to the side so we can focus on the trailer. Now what's nice here, as you can see, I have it all weaponed up. We got the double cannons here that I always thought of like, armed smokestacks. And we have the Super Ginrai blasters with the regular Ginrai blasters pegged in. What's nice is, let me pop one off here. There's a tab right here, slot in the bottom. They just go in. Yeah, super mode can hold the guns like this, but it looks a little off, and I did find there is storage for the smaller guns. So let me just pop these off. And we'll do this on this side and that on that side. So basically there are little lifts here to hold the trailer up if you don't have the cab attached, and this is where Ginrai would peg in. And let me just quickly show you right here, this little slot, that's where God Bomber is going to tab in. And I mean, you can even see here, there's C clips here on the bottom of the feet where all the limbs are going to peg in. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do an alternate form of the transformation where the instructions go from trailer to super robot mode and then backtrack to show you the base mode. I'm going to go from trailer to base mode, battle station mode, and then the super robot. It's actually not that bad, and like I said with Ginrai, even more so with this, if you have the original toy, it's kind of similar. So first things first, let's just go ahead and flip that down. And then you're going to need to flip up the skiffs there. We're going to come around to the back, and I'm telling you now, I'm going to have to adjust the camera because things get a little bit big. First thing, these back panels open up. Don't really know why, because there's nothing in there. It's not hollow or anything. But what you want to do is unpeg these tabs here, and you're going to swing these panels out. Now, besides tabbing in back here, there's a tab here and a tab here that those two side runners peg into. And just fold them out, keep them out of the way. You do you. And by the way, there's, posts there. Again, God Bomber, God Ginrai. Next, what you want to do is come underneath and then lift up this middle section, straighten that out, get this combining this attachment post, flip it around, and fold it over like that. And we're just going to leave it like that for right now. Next, and by the way, with the trailer, there is an order to the steps. It's kind of intuitive. It kind of makes sense. Now what we're going to do is pull away on this main section here, untab that panel. It'll tabs into what was the arm, and we're going to fold this out, bring it down all the way, fold this section down, double hinge, just bring it down, and now fold this panel in. And this is where I have a bit of a problem. There is a tab, there is a slot, but it's only accessible when that panel's folded in, and I have had it pop out on me a couple times. Come around on this side of the trailer, unpeg and fold that back, and do the same here. Just a little wiggle jiggle. Obviously, when you have one done, The other one is fairly easy to do. So let's bring that down, make sure that's pegged in, fold this around, and then tab that into place. So it kind of holds, but I've had it come loose on me a couple times. Now, what we want to do is untab the arms from this central section. That's something new that the original toy didn't. Fold up these bits, and really just for now, it's on a double hinge. Get that out of the way. We're going to fiddle with that. Now, the instructions would show you to rotate the arms back and go into robot. But like I said, we're going to go into the base mode. So what you want to do is rotate the arms forward and then come along to the side here. And what I recommend, they don't show you doing this in the instructions, but flip up the front skirt piece to flip up the side skirt piece. It's not like one is tabbed into the other, but there is like a little, as you can see, there's some molding that one fits in the other, and I just think it's a little bit easier to grab. Once you have that done, bring the vehicle mode out, and probably what you should do before that is continue bringing this panel up and then tab it in to the top there. I almost forgot that. But bring the panel up just like that. And now what we're going to do is, you'll see this is floppy now. So you're going to bring that down, flip it over, and then here, let's get this out of the way a little bit. You can flip down what will be the main base section. And this is actually pushing up against the back there. Now, real quick, they show you having this folded over. I remember on the original this being a cannon, and in fact, there's a blast effect port, I think, there. So I'm leaving that forward like that. But don't worry, I'm going to adjust the camera so we can get a whole shot of this. Now, what you want to do, and I think it's easier to see from this side, is you want to pull down on what will be part of the sole of the foot in robot mode. That will untab it from the back wheel and allow you to rotate the foot out. Do this on both sides, just like on the original toy. Yeah, he's got the odd feet. I mean, that is accurate. But I do appreciate it is, we do have ankle articulation for such a large mode. And let me just pull back a little more here. I'm going to figure out what to do to get everything in. But now what we're going to do is unpeg this panel here. And you see that it's starting to come undone a little. And that's unfortunate. But let's see if there's something I can do here. See, there's really nothing here that pegs it in. Oh, wait, is there? No. See, I'm looking, and there's no tab or anything here to help peg that in. So it's really just a friction hold. So bring that around. Fold that down, and we're just about done, believe it or not. What you want to do is bring in the side guns, the shoulder cannons, and those will peg in like on the original toy, just like that. And then you can take the super mode guns, and for this I'm removing the smaller Ginrai blasters, and they'll peg in where the shoulder guns would go. And adjust the camera here. Here's the super mode, looking super. At least the panels are falling down evenly. Now, one last thing, of course, you can do is, if you remember on the original release, oops, Sorry, I'm just trying to straighten some stuff out. It looks like this is tilting forward. That could just be my booth. But anyway, you can take the Ginrai figure, and they're not really clear on how it sits, so I do it a little splayed like this, and it can come in and like man one of the gunner seats, just like the original Power Masters could do. They could sit in the seats there. Man, I'm really bummed about that not staying. Well, it's one of those things, but you have the ramps, you have everything built in, just like on the original toy. So yeah, I'm gonna strip everything down, and then I'll come back and show you how to get into the super robot mode. Okay, so I stripped the weapons off, and now basically what we're gonna do is just go back and flip this panel up, flip this up. Now I did notice there is a tab that goes in right there, but it is pushing back. It might be due to the paint tolerances, and again, that's just on my copy. And of course, there are tabs that hold those side panels in place, so there's that. Now what we need to do, and let me just bring this up, we're going to straighten the legs out. And first what you want to do is get this back up like so, get that back into place, and then just bring the legs down and bring that side panel, the side skirt, back down. And what we can do here is now we're going to fold up the backpack. So fold this up, take this blue section, this will fold in and tab into place. And what's nice is there's a little gray tab right there, but that's not the main thing that's going to hold it. This this cannon section or hitch section will tab in and secure everything into place. Please notice, post, whole backpack, God Bomber. So now with that being done, let's go ahead and bring the big guy up. And we're going to rotate the arms down, which, okay, I'm going to have to bring this up to focus on the torso now. The everything below the waist has been transformed for the base mode, so there's that. Next, we're going to come in here and fold out this panel, which has the head attached, and there's a couple different faces. We'll talk about that. What you want to do is grab the arm, bring it out slightly, rotate it all the way around so the elbow joint is now facing out. And what you're going to do, and open up that panel, open up that bigger panel, and this will allow you to flip out the hand. Close that smaller panel up, bring that larger panel down, and then rotate the arm so that the hand is facing forward, and it will snap closed into place. Real quick, there are alternate toy accurate hands that can peg in and out. After this review, I'm going to swap these red hands that look like they're wearing blue fingerless gloves for the blue fists. That's actually accurate to the original toy, whereas the original Japanese toy had retractable blue fists. The original American release of Power Master Optimus Prime actually had molded in red fists. So that was actually a little more animation accurate on the toy. So you had, with the American release, you actually had a toy animation hybrid. But I just like the blue. I think it breaks up the monotony a little more. So do it again on this side. And make sure when going back into the trailer mode, you do flip these, rotate these arms around and bring out the hand like so. Close, snap that up, and rotate it into place. Finally, what we want to do is bring down that front section. Now, this is where we get to bring the cab in for Ginrai and slide it into place. Basically, let's take a look. Just like with, Star Saber, and all that, you can see there's a couple notches, couple slots, the smokestacks, the tabs there. Just line it up, drop it in. You might have to do a little wiggle jiggle to get it down in place. So just like that, you have that done. And of course, Delilah has to come in and investigate with a lot of tiny parts sitting around. But by the way, here's a little bit of a size comparison. That's an adult cat sitting down, and that's how big the super mode is. Finally, to complete it, you want to bring the head down. It's going to come in between the legs. And unfortunately, this is where I have a bit of a problem, as my cat tries to bite my hand. The head is supposed to tab. There's a tab right here and a slot, really the groove right there. And that's where the head is supposed to go in, and that panel is supposed to press down. Oh, and also press up here, close that midsection. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I don't know if, the head popped off. If this is not going down all the way. Because of the reports of breakage, I'm a little hesitant. I mean, it's going to stay, but it's going to float. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm missing something, that I'm not pushing down far enough. It's like, this is sturdy. This is playable. But I also don't want to take a chance of damaging it. But without further ado, there is Super Ginrai in its robot mode. This really, it is so hard to take this all in. I mean, I'm actually using my floor tripod to pulling it back just to take it all in. And you see, if that damn panel would come down a little more, I'd have a little more clearance. Now, one thing I didn't pull out is there are shoulder adapters. You can leave them attached for the transformation, but it's to make it more animation accurate. When looking up what color hands the character had in the show, believe it or not, I did see that that hand was attached. Oh, and of course, least we forget, since this is a Power Master, we have to have the engine attached. Again, I will advise you, do not leave the engine attached with small animals who like to explore. And I'm sure while handling this is going to pop out. But, again, if you have this and know what I'm doing wrong, and please don't say just being existing, do let me know, because I am a little disappointed that that panel won't peg in. Now, as you might have noticed, the head can come off. There's 3 heads with this. So what we'll do right now is we'll pause very quickly before I armor the figure up, and we're going to take a look at the different heads. Okay, so here are the heads. This one on the right is the head that comes attached normally, and I assume is the animation accurate head. The one with the red eyes, that's the toy accurate head. This set actually even comes with stickers that if you have that general release toy colored Ginrai, using the stickers in that head, as well as the interchangeable fists, you can recreate a masterpiece toy aesthetic for Super Ginrai. This head, I have no idea what it is. There's a different detail here on the fins, and it looks like the eyes are a little more aggressive. I can't tell. I mean, is this like an alternate animation head that like supposed to look angry or something? Is this supposed to look more like an Optimus Prime head? Because I mean, really, these two, it's just the difference in color. So maybe this is a more animation head. I'm going to pop that on for the rest of the review, and I'll show you how to do that right now. Okay, so the head just slides on and off very easily, and boy, that platform really annoys me. And there you go. You actually have like a whole bit of expression here with the head, which I appreciate. A lot more than the swivel that we had from pegging on the original toy. And, there went Ginrai. I'm going to try to like put it back in just for the rest of the review. If it comes off, I'm not going to put it back on until like my final thoughts. That is like something I am disappointed about, that it does pop off that easily. They should have, if they were concerned about getting it out, they should have put in like a release button or something. Now, to finish armoring up the figure, if you're not using those shoulder pads, obviously you're going to put on these double cannons like every child of the 80s had. I know, hearing from a lot of people, this was their Optimus Prime. My Optimus Prime broke, so for a while I did not really have a fully functional playable Optimus Prime until I got Power Master Optimus Prime, which didn't even know it was like not even Optimus Prime. By the way, here on the back, we were talking about those posts. You can just right there, very cleanly, they store out of the way. Those are the smaller Ginrai blasters. The larger super mode blasters, just bring them in, flip out the hand. Same way, tab and slot. There you go, close up the hand. Let me, might have knocked them loose just because I'm rotating the wrist. Oh, and by the way, there is like wrist articulation, like it's swivels. Let me just say that, but let me just rotate there at the bicep. That might make it a little bit easier to put the weapons in. I do think these sit a little bit better and you do see there's like that nice armpit joint there. These sit a little bit better in super mode than I think they did with Ginrai. And I mean, I felt that going back to I'm leaving that out. I felt that even seeing the early in-hand photos. But there you go. And this is my childhood pretty much in a nutshell. And of course, the blast effects still work. As I said in the Ginrai when we looked at the cab, I think these are sized a little bit better for super mode. Man, really, if somebody could just like let me know what I'm doing wrong, that panel is not staying down. So there's that. Don't leave it attached. I'm even though it's not soft plastic, I'm still not sure if it won't corrode, so I'm just warning you. Articulation, you see in the arms what they can do. This is really nice. And you even have the wrists, waist, because the waist is contained, and that's a ratchet right there. We kind of saw what the legs could do, but ratchet. I mean, I saw the intro to Master Force the other day. Like, this guy did like a karate jump kick. Like, look at this. Oh my God. Yeah, because they can swivel. Hi-ya. He can do that. And, let's angle out the feet a little. Yep. It's the same issues you might have with ratchets in general, and that's the fact that there's not enough space between one click and the other. And, you try to like be a little more expressive. And this is like a top-heavy figure. But there we go. Let me see if I can. Oh, you know what? You can like sort of untransform the foot a little to get a little more balance. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, look at this pose. Folks, there we go. Oh, the damn chest. With just, there we go. You know what? Boom. Here we go. Here is our Super Ginrai armored up. Let me just aggravate myself further. Put the engine back in. I mean, I appreciate them not wanting it to get stuck, but yeah, childhood complete. Really, there's not much more to say, so you know what? Let's just pause and we'll get to my final thoughts. This is awesome. This has restored my faith in the Masterpiece line, which is kind of funny because apparently the toy accurate Ginrai is the last release under the Masterpiece banner. Going forward, everything is going to be Masterpiece G, Masterpiece Gatai. I don't think that means everything is going to be a combiner, but um, that's going to be the new line. And I think it ends on a good point. By the way, I also did find out that the toy accurate Ginrai, the booklet that it comes with has some great sketches and photos of early prototypes of Super Ginrai Power Master Optimus Prime. And one thing I didn't see, and I don't know if it's included, and I remembered this the other day, in an early design, Roller was going to become a triple changing headmaster. It would go from Roller to a robot mode and then form the head of Power Master Optimus Prime, the super mode. It got cut for budget reasons, but that would have been really cool to see, and I wonder how that would have worked in to the Japanese animated show. Um, Obviously, if you grew up a fan of Power Masters, Master Force, Power Master Optimus Prime, God Jinrai, you're going to really want to pick this up because even with the small quibbles I've had with panels sticking in place, that panel not coming down all the way, that's just could be a me issue, and really your mileage may vary, as I always tell people, and I want to remind you of that. Um, Definitely, if you have this, try to still pre-order if it's even open anywhere. God Bomber, because this is going to make God Bomber is going to make this awesome. I mean, we were I kind of pointed out some of the connection spots, but it's really going to look good. Um, by the way, I also didn't mention like those additional shoulder pads. The reason I'm not too fond of them is while they can store in vehicle mode, what do you do with these in robot mode? Because there's really no storage if you're going to store Jinrai's blasters on the back for them, and you kind of need them for vehicle mode and the battle station mode. But just an aside, but definitely highly recommended. Now, with that being said, my price for shipping coming from Amazon Japan was $270 thereabouts. That's after the price got reduced at one point. That is a lot. I know in 2024, 2025, that's a lot of money. Um, and when you think about something like Masterpiece Star Saber that did a lot of the same that this figure is doing, and that was like maybe 150, something like that. I know times are different. This has a lot more accessories, but the 270 might be hard to swallow. Well, let me just say that 270 might be hard to swallow now. I only see the price and value of this going up, so that 270 might turn into 370 a few months, 6 months from now, especially as we get closer to the release of God Bomber, because there's no guarantee that Takara will do a re-release of Super Jinrai to coincide with the release of God Bomber. So just something to think about. Um, I know I've had to pass on a lot of the Titan figures because of their price and some issues here and there. I mean, even if this ended up being garbage, there was no way I could pass on it because of my nostalgia for the mold and the original toy. But hopefully I've given you some stuff to think about. I think it's worth the 270. I see the value, the die cast, the articulation, the accessories, the heftiness, the ability to go to a toy design from an animation design, create some hybrid in the middle. So, yeah, that's about it. But thank you so much for watching. This is your old pal Chuck for Super Ginrai, not giving you the full outro, and thank you for watching Masterpiece Theater. We will see you next time.